Hello, this is Lindsay Boggs, and this is the pre-final version of a Summer Snow within the Bane of Boreas campaign for Fight the Dragon. What I'd like to show you is all of the updates in this level. As you can see, there's a lot more set design and a lot more activity going on with all of this pink code strings that we have here. So as opposed to the last video, I've decided that I'm just going to show you what this does as opposed to how it works, because going through each and every string would take quite an amount of time. So let's go ahead and play test. So same as before, we come in here and talk to our mother. She says, "Hi honey, I have some errands for you to run today. I'd like for you to pick up some ingredients for supper. We need some fresh fish, cabbage, apples, grain, and wine. You can get everything you need from the villagers in town." So we have some new foliage and belongings around our house, and just as before, if we were to enter again, we would see she's changed positions and asks us if we have recovered the groceries yet, which we have not. So if we go and explore our new updated village, we'll go ahead and talk to everybody again. Thank Helios for these warm waters and our bountiful fish. The fish are really biting today. I've caught enough for supper. I already caught enough for supper. No one is by the church yet. How does that old man catch all those fish? I haven't even had a nibble. I had one fish, but that fish is gone. Oh, I have no fish to give. Yes, I forgot about him. My uncle is fishing by the river, but I'm sure he'd love to sell you some fish. Sometimes I wonder if there's more to life than religion and fish, silly me. Now, this guy is going to be a constant NPC, and he helps to, like, guide us in a certain direction here. So we have, I thought that I saw something shiny on the other side of the river while I was fishing. I wonder what it was. So if we start to move towards the river, we'll also find his buddy over here. He says, "My friend told me there are 3 hidden treasures across the river, but I'm too scared to cross. I can't swim, what if I fall in?" So, oops, as you'll discover, this water is actually a bit shallow, but that's okay. We can hop across these stones to the other side of the river. It's actually not deep enough to drown in that spot. And we can grab the 3 chests that are over here and chase away these shadows, so that when it gets to be nighttime, we can see where we're going. Alright, and that's the last one. Oops, missed that last one, it's okay. There's other things that would guide the player's eye this direction as well. These objects, for example, all of these beautiful pots. I can climb up there real quick and shoot it. Are breakable, and so are these boxes, which they may contain nothing or they may contain loot. So there's a bit of a breadcrumb trail leading the player up this direction to the point where they would see this NPC, see these stones, well, at least the beginning parts of it, because there'd be shadows there. But everything here is placed to guide the player to that location, as well as to encourage them exploring. So all of these little tiny pickups reward the player's explorative nature, and also help to guide them around the map so that they don't just stay within this one central area, but that they do cover the whole map here. My husband is supposed to be working, but he's going fishing instead. Ha! Just because he's a fisherman doesn't mean he's off the hook. I'm still mad. Let's go ahead and swap weapons. There we go. Much more satisfying. Let's see. Oh yes, and as before, these characters did not have exclamation points, so they have gained them. And then when you are finished talking with them, they will disappear. So gain grain freshly milled, secret ingredient to any respectable recipe. You would like to buy some? Thank you very much. Here you are. May Helios keep you in his light. Once again with all this flavor text and everything. Oh yes, bombs are a random thing. You cannot decide what goes into a box, but we will just blame the cult. Should a bomb show up? I'll say that they put it there. The graveyard has gained its quest, as well as some chests, which the player can access beforehand, considering there are no enemies, until this quest is taken on. So they should still have their potions on the ready. I have a checkpoint. That is the only checkpoint in this level. Who have we not spoken with? Fisherman. Oops. Sure, I can sell you some fish. There you go. Helios' blessings to you and your mother. And the weather has begun to change because we've selected 2 of our merchants to speak to. Cabbage Man says, cabbages, of course I can sell you some of those. Pleasure doing business with you. Helios' blessings. Alright. I don't believe I picked up the wine. Oh, or the apples. Fresh apples here. Thank you very much. May Helios smile upon you. And then also there's a chest back there, so that's one more reason for the player to go around this building and get to this location, because they can see that, and therefore they're aware that they're able to access it. Before I speak with the wine merchant, I would like to go home and show that Mom has not updated yet until we've spoken with all of our people. And there she is in the same spot, just sweeping the floor. Even though it is snowing. There we are. Finest wine in our region. Our remote region. I still sell the finest wine. Ah, a customer! You have a magnificent taste in wine. Here is your purchase. Helios' blessings be upon you. Alright, now we may go home and speak to the mother. She's updated. And she says, thank Helios, you're home. I'm glad that you got the ingredients, but something strange is going on with the snow. Dinner will have to wait. Let's go to the temple to figure out what's going on. Per our last video, it was snowing in the house, and now it is not snowing as much. The reason there's a delay is because these code strings take a minimum of a 1.5 second delay when one string calls another string. So that's just something in the editor that really can't be worked around very well, but the effect is still present. As you can see, snow begins again. It comes back. Alright, here we are. We step in here, and he says, good people, go home and pray to Helios for light and warmth. Don't panic. Let us meet again in the daylight. All of these people still have their dialogue. He says, I wonder if Helios is displeased with our offerings of fish. She says maybe the sun god is angry with us. Whatever it is, it's not my fault. Oh, I didn't finish his. Not you. Oops. I wonder if he's displeased with our offerings of fish. I mean, even I get tired of eating fish after a while. Okay. My crops are ruined. What am I going to do? Maybe the world isn't flat. Maybe there's some natural explanation for all of this, and maybe I should just go home. And our fisherman... I don't understand. My offering of fish was more than generous. Why is Helios doing this to me? And then the priest says, please go home and pray to Helios for warmth and answers. We'll meet again tomorrow. And mother... Oops, that's the sign. Don't worry, this will all blow over soon. Let's go home like the priest says. We also have this band of cult followers over here. And they each have their own piece. I always knew Boreas would triumph over that ridiculous sun god. This summer's snow is the start of our god's reign. If you ask me, Helios, the sun god, is a weak deity. Anyone who prays to him must be really thick in the head. Praise the great god of winter, the mighty Boreas. He has finally answered our prayers. The snow is a sign. Let's go on this side and talk to these guys. Boreas the Devourer has proven himself to us. His snows fall on the summer grass. This is the sign we've been waiting for. Boreas is far more superior god than Helios. Just look at the snow in summer. Look at his power. And you, our cult will finally be recognized. The followers of Boreas, we who are faithful, will finally be rewarded for our prayers and sacrifice. Creepy people. Okay, these guys remain, just in case the player were to come this way and, you know, like I said, these are constant NPCs. Another thing that's updated, we have fog over our water as soon as it starts to be cold. And that remains, whether it's day or night. It is misty on the river. So that is, it's cool. Get it? Because it's cold and yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And we pop over here just to look at it. It comes up the shoreline and then kind of dissipates as you get higher inland. So we don't need to go all the way down. We can get a pretty good look at it since we were here earlier in the day. And I've missed again. Okay. I am playing this with the keyboard, just for the record. Alright. We can go home. There's nothing left to show you here. And we will speak to the mother. The snow will stop again as well. And she says, try not to worry, honey. We will go back to the temple tomorrow to see what the light of a new day will bring to all of this. Alright. And of course, when we leave, everything transfers over. And we do have a completely new day to do things in our town. So there is a gathering. We were going to hold off on that for just a moment because we have a new quest. And we are going to accomplish this quest. Not in the graveyard. But this little sub-quest was called Mice in the Ice in the design document. And this gentleman is having a problem. He says, my cellar has been infested by mice. They are seeking shelter from the snow and they're eating all my grain. I think they might have been drinking the wine. I've noticed several barrels have gone missing. Yes, I know the barrels are a lot bigger than the mice, but those are some big mice. They are actually, as we will find out. Will you please take care of the problem? There is some gold in the cellar too. You're welcome to have it if you kill those mice. Alright. Yes, we just talked to you. And then this activates. And we can see they are big mice. Look at that one. Okay. We just kill them quickly. And the other benefit of having mice, even if it is just a small quest, is showing the player a couple of different things. How to move barrels and how to use this pressure platform. Oops, goodness. There. Accessing chests and whatnot, and then it also helps us to add just a few enemies more to our level, because at the end, your loot and everything is generated based on how many enemies you killed and what their level was, etc. So that's where we're at with that. Also note, it is not snowing in the cellar, so that's just one thing to add in. And up we go. Sorry, I had to fix a quick thing there. Anyway, so we have completed the Mice in the Ice quest. I did mean to show you the updated NPCs, how their dialogue updates with the snow, but that was yesterday, not today. Today, they're all over here again, so if you'd like to see what their snow dialogue sounds like, you can go back to the last video and check that out. Alright, good people, Helios has blessed me with a vision. I know why the snow is afflicting us. Boreas the Devourer, god of winter and the north wind, has been beaten in battle by the sun god Helios. Long may his light shine. Boreas afflicts his faithful village and shows with his snows out of spite for Helios. Goodness. This cult, followers of Boreas, have already begun to cause trouble in our village. If you see them, do not interact. Do not fear. My vision has revealed that a champion will rise from among you to journey to the northern mountain and defeat Boreas and his cult. This champion Helios will restore light to our village and will be blessed with gold and silver upon their return. Please consider the dangers before stepping forward and be certain of your choice to volunteer. Now, who amongst you is the champion of Helios? Come forward. Alright, so it must be us, but we can ask around, and she says, I have the faith and I have the strength, I just don't have the time. I'm needed here in the village. Oh, yes, Mom, shush, don't give things away. Okay, this news about the cult is disturbing. I would gladly volunteer, but I don't want to leave the village undefended from those creeps, which is actually a valid point. I would gladly step forward, but who will man our grain stores? No, I can't do it. And me, a champion of Helios, I'm not cut from that cloth, sorry. Okay? And then he says, in my younger years, I would have fought bravely, but I'm an old man now, and I must keep my family safe here in the village. So nobody else wants to do it, so it's gotta be us. Oops, not you. Priest. Okay, such bravery and faith at such a young age. You will be the champion of Helios. May you be blessed by his light and end this terrible snow. Please speak with your mother before you leave. She has one final lesson before your journey. I need an E there. Meet me here in the temple tonight, and by the temple tonight, rather, and I will give you the key to the sacred stone of Helios. Thank you very much. Now, mother, you may speak. And she says, you will be a wonderful champion. I am so proud of you. Meet me by the village campfire. I have something to teach you before you go. Notice. Let's see, can I see the campfire from here? Almost. Perfect. Look at that. Magic. Okay. Mother's over here already. Okay, hi honey. It's time you learned about the glyphs of the gods. You will need their blessings to defeat Boreas. If you stand between the sun glyphs and pray then to Helios, god of the sun. Goodness, let me restart that one. If you stand between the sun glyphs and pray, then Helios, god of the sun, will shine his rays of daylight upon you. Likewise, if you stand between the moon glyphs and pray to his sister Selena, goddess of the moon, she will turn the day into night. Use these prayers wisely. It's a very different world at night, and you should stay on your guard. That cult of Boreas is holding rituals in our own cemetery at night. I hope this doesn't get out of hand before you return. Hurry home. Oh, and the priest wants to meet with you. You can find him by the temple at night. He said something about a key to the stone. Alright, so that's important. We're letting the player know that not only are these two things activated now, which, by the way, they're not activated until she's done talking. So were we to come over here before any of that, this investigate would not be here. So the second important piece about her dialogue is that she's letting us know about a quest for defeating the cult within the cemetery at night, and so she drops those key pieces of information. What else to say about this? Not a whole lot other than Mother is no longer over here, and she is indeed by the campfire. So, if we go ahead and switch things over, it's nighttime now. From this point, we could just talk to the priest and leave, but we are a good villager and we will take care of matters. We'll speak to him. Champion of Helios, thank you for what you're about to do. Please accept this key to the sacred stone of Helios. With it, you will be able to travel to the mountain temple and defeat Boreas. May Helios guide you on your journey. We are all counting on you. No pressure or anything. Alright, so that key now allows us to access the sacred stone, which would end the level. And just in case there's any doubt, this is the sacred stone of Helios. But because there's more to life than just leaving the village, we have this other side quest, which is optional. But if you'd like loot, if you'd like experience points, you must do it. Alright, take 2 of the graveyard. So, another thing about this graveyard is that these ghosts still exist as they had, but I removed the invisible NPCs, which were previously on their gravestones, because it does get a bit crowded. Unfortunately, the F button is the interact button for speaking with visible NPCs, invisible NPCs, and picking up loot. So it was just a bit much going on. But we do have Alex still, who says, I don't care about this, I'm just sad that I'll never be the great. He is Alexander the Meh, and in the daytime you can read that on his gravestone. And these ghosts just have their typical outraged dialogue that they had before, so we don't need to go through each and every one of those. But we can go through our cult followers dialogue. So this lady says, the cult of Boreas could use a fighter like you. Champion of Helios, psh, forget that, loser. Okay, she's not all that nice. She says, join us, Boreas is the best god there is. He says, have you come to join our cult? The followers of Boreas are willing to overlook your past faith in Helios. Join us. Nope. And the last man says, praise be to Boreas whose snows devour the sun. Alright, so things don't start to get real until we talk with their leader, who's standing next to this human that they have sacrificed. This person that they've sacrificed? Okay. He says, who are you to judge our religion? A willing human sacrifice is the ultimate offering to Boreas. Alright, so he's mad because we were judging him. The gate closes until all enemies are killed, and standing on a checkpoint, in case you haven't played the game before, will continue to heal you until this health bar there is depleted. Go away. There we go. And we still have 26 health that we could glean from that. So that's probably the best strategy for dealing with them. Because otherwise they can kill you if you roam about the graveyard. But that just helps to make sure the player steps on this as well. As soon as all enemies are defeated, the gate is open again, and our ghosts have become much calmer. And they have updated dialogue as well, and they're thankful, except for Alex, who just says, "Great job. I wish I was great too." You are great, Alex. Poor buddy. Anyway, Athena is the one who's moved. She was previously here, and she has something she'd like to say. She says, "Thank you, champion of Helios. Your good works have already begun. Please accept this key to the temple cellar. Use what you find there to prepare yourself against these vile cultists." Thank you, Athena. So this key is pretty just symbolic, because the trapdoors don't actually require keys. They just need to be activated or deactivated. But it adds to the story. And so here's our trapdoor to the underneath part of the temple, to the cellar. There's a crypt thing down here and some banners. And we have now killed the rats and the cultists. And that's it for the enemies in us level 1. So we're not going to get an enormous amount of loot, but we have something to get us started for level 2. Got a couple of choices, and this is all generated off of, like I said, the enemies you killed, as well as your... I don't know if it's based on player class or not. I know it's based on player level, because you have to be a certain level in order to get certain armor pieces, etc. Also note, it is not snowing inside of the cellar. So, it will begin to snow as we come back. Let's see, is there anything else that I would really like to... Yes, there is actually. Okay, so as we came up, actually as we exited, there's a trigger box that spans from about this point to this point. So when the player exits that trigger, it turns everything off, except for, you know, the people that we killed and the evidence. But the ghosts are at peace, and there's nothing awry about that whole situation. Mom is still back here. It's also notable that she is not in the house. So the house is empty, there's nothing to do here, nothing to see here. Just for the sake of consistency. Speaking with her, we'll just repeat that dialogue. And then if we go ahead and glide back to the daytime, we will see that our priest is not here because he will only meet us here at night, which is perfectly acceptable. The human sacrifice is gone. That body remains, and we have our investigating things back. If we'd like to read their headstones. And let's see. I just want to go back to the night. To prove a point that we have completed this quest, and now the evidence is gone for good. Well, it was before, but the human sacrifice person. We don't have anything respawning. Everything is as it should be with the world. Alright, I'm going to switch it back to the day so we can show off some of the set design and then conclude level 1. So this is the areas behind the house, which have small loot. There's some chests, there's some pocket money, possibly a bomb or two in those vases. You never know what you find. The thugs, the cultists are up to no good. Over here we get some foreshadowing because we can see that there's a chest over there. Our merchants are not in the village. Everybody's staying inside because it's cold, except for him because he needed our help before. Alright, and you can get a look at what the fog looks like in the daytime. It's a lot more subtle. Let's jump in the water. Kind of looks like, I don't know, swirliness going on. I think it looks cooler at night. Yeah. Let's see. Other points to make about this area. A lot of the foliage and rocks are elevated. That's just to break up some sight lines and make things a little bit more interesting to look at. It's not with all of them, more so in the town area, but as you can see, there's a good mix of elevated and non-elevated plant life. A bomb. Okay. We get different versions of plants and different versions of crates. Pretty basic stuff. Alright. I think you pretty much get the picture for the most part. We already explored all the way over there. Alright, and we can conclude the level day or night. Doesn't really matter as long as you touch the stone. And that's it. We're back in the editor section. So that concludes the summer snow for level 1 of Bane of Boreas in Fight the Dragon. Thank you very much for watching.